Hey guys, welcome back to JR14. Here I am with another video for you guys today, and today we're going to be finally going through the review of this Seicane head unit for the Mercedes Benz ML350. So without further ado, let's get started with today's video right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up the car because we need to turn the radio on first. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm actually going to talk about some of the questions that you guys have had in the previous video. I did tell you to leave your questions in the description down below. And I did tell you guys, to, just put your comments in and we'll go over everything. We're going to cover some major things, some questions that you guys have had in this video. And also I want to just give you like a quick spiel of this head unit, my experiences with it, and do I recommend this system to you guys or not? And I'll be completely honest with you and say this. It's been a great system. Usually the Android head units that I've bought in the previous stuff usually stop working after a while, or they have issues with this, that, and the third. Now, this has been, in terms of connectivity, I've only had issues twice with my phone connecting to wireless Apple CarPlay. And yes, there is no wires for this. I just plugged up my phone, and this is just to charge my phone separately. This has nothing to do with the radio. It's just a cigarette lighter charger for my phone, and it's a fast charger. But for the head unit, it's actually been pretty good. I think this is the best one that I've had so far. I wish, the only thing now, the quirk that I do have with it, I wish, because there's these brackets that you bolt onto the back of this screen, and that's how when you tighten up, there's like two little slide pins here. They are held in with like a T15 Torx, and you take those out, and you take those out and you pull the pins down. That's how you get the radio out. When you put it back in, it doesn't fit up quite well, so there is some movement here. Now it never comes out because it's locked in place, but considering it's aftermarket, there is some looseness here and here. I just wish that when you get this unit, that Seicane would take the time to just put the brackets on for you. It takes no time for them to do it at all. I mean, I'm sure they do it to save costs in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I don't know how much cheaper it would actually be with that, but I just wish they were able just to do it for you so you don't have to do it. And the screws are very, very small and are easy to strip. So that's one of my gripes with this system in terms of the head unit as far as the hardware. Now, software-wise, A1. I think this system does a lot. It has a lot that's built in. Like I said, it has wireless CarPlay, it has wireless Android Auto. You have AutoKit where you can mirror stream stuff from your phone, like movies, TV shows, things of that nature, or whatever content you're watching from your phone. You do have your Google, you do have, you can search things on the internet. Now, you could get the adapter, the 4G adapter, and then you have a SIM card attached to it. Too much legwork for me. What you should be able to do, what's easy to do in my opinion, just connect your phone via hotspot, personal hotspot, and then you'll have internet access to all this stuff. You can watch YouTube on this. Technically it is an Android tablet, so you can download other streaming services and it should work with no problem. Now, the issue was, and I'm going to pull up the email, one of the issues that I had with this head unit when I first got it was that the backup camera didn't work. I got the right adapters, I plugged everything up correctly. However, when I put the car in reverse, it wouldn't work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the email from Seicane real quick. All right, so one of the issues that I did have with this head unit was specifically the backup camera. As you can see now, when I put the car in reverse, my backup camera does work with no problems at all. I love the fact that when I turn the steering wheel back and forth, it has the trajectory lines to tell where the car is going to end up once I you know, once I get to where I need to get to. So that all works, but it didn't work at first. So when you first get this head unit, it does this 360 camera thing that it thinks that it has. It's an aftermarket kit you can put on and attach to the head unit, so it all works. And it's supposed to give you like a bird's eye view, kind of like the newer cars. I didn't want that. I just wanted the original rear view camera to work. And at first it didn't work. And then I actually didn't call them, but I emailed Seicane. And what they told me was, try to connect this cable camera. So I was trying to figure out what input to plug it up to. And they told me to plug it up to the camera video in of the unit, and then reconnect the cable on the power harness, the backup camera 12 reverse at a point. They said you'll probably have to use a universal camera, and I said I don't want to do that. It already has a camera, and it already has the antenna for the camera, and I have the right adapter for the camera. So after going back and forth, they gave me a link to go to, which was a video clip, which was fantastic. They told me where to go in the settings to do it. And it said you would have to go to, I'm gonna play it real quickly. I don't want it to play. So it was like, you go to settings. So if your rear view camera doesn't work, you're gonna go to settings, which I'm gonna do here. Settings. And then you're gonna go to car. And then you're gonna go to factory settings. You're gonna go to factory settings, which is right here. And the code for this is 126. And then it takes you to this screen. So once you get to this screen, it's gonna ask you about 3D camera. Once you get there, you're gonna go to other. And then you're gonna look for, you scroll down, see this 360 AVM, you're gonna turn that off. Once you turn that off, the camera system will work. So that answers that question to you guys. I'm gonna exit out of this again. You know, you go to settings, you go to car, you go to factory settings. The code for it is 126. And then once you go down there, you're gonna go to the other tab and then scroll down till you see 360 AVM, and you're gonna shut that off, and then your original rear camera will work with no problems at all. Shout out to Seicane. Like I said, this is the video that they sent me right here, and I appreciate their customer service with this. For a company being out of the country, they were very responsive and very, very helpful at the end of the day, which was great. Now, I only utilize this whole system. There's so many features that you can utilize with this. One thing that I do appreciate is the amplifier. A lot of you guys also asked me about the question with the Harman Kardon sound system. When you order this head unit or any Android head unit, you need to get what is called a MOST adapter. That adapter will work with the in this case Harman Kardon or Bose or Bang & Olufsen amplifier, so that it will communicate for the radio to play audio through the amplifier to amplify through the speakers. So I love this because the DTS communicates with the amplifier to work with the surround sound, and I'm able to do the DTS, which is their version of surround sound. So I'm able to tap into that and really get a good, you know, just a true, you know, adjustment of everything, which I really do appreciate that. I was worried about that getting the system because a lot of people said that only the 4 speakers, the 2 fronts and the 2 rear door speakers would work and nothing else would work. Like again, this does have a surround speaker up there. It has tweeters and then door component speakers, then speakers in the back with some tweeters in the rear doors, as well as surround sound speakers in the back and an 8-inch sub in the trunk. So I wanted all of that to work because for a 2009, this Harman Kardon system sounds absolutely amazing, and I wanted to make sure that I still utilize that with the sound system. But as far as the Apple CarPlay, again, you know, Apple CarPlay is great in all aspects. It works well. I literally just updated this to iOS 18, so some stuff changed in here a little bit. But I utilize Waze mainly, and Spotify and Apple Music. I really don't use it for anything else. I really specifically wanted the Apple CarPlay. It does have built-in navigation, but it's not great. I don't like it. I wouldn't recommend it. Just Bluetooth sync your phone every time I get in the car. It automatically connects your phone and Apple CarPlay boots right up. No time at all. Next thing of this video, I'm actually going to go ahead and go to this video. I know you guys had some comments regarding this video, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to answer some of your questions. So we're going to go to that now. This video, the video for the installing of the head unit, got about 10,000 views. So what I want to do is I want to go into the previous video here, and I want to answer some of your comments regarding the video because you guys did have a lot of questions regarding it. So the one I did majorly answer, which was a lot of you guys' questions, was how to get the rear view camera to work, the OEM camera. And like I said, you have to go into the settings. Then after you go to settings, you go to car. After you go into car, then you go to scroll down to factory settings. Go to factory settings, type in the code 126. Once you do that, it'll take you to another menu. There's going to be a sub menu at the top. Click other at the top of that. Then scroll all the way down to 360 AVM and switch that off, and then your rear view camera will work. How much do you charge to install this multimedia? I don't do installs for other people. It's a liability. I make these videos to show you the steps on how to do it yourself if you're comfortable doing it. You know, like if you're not experienced with that, don't advise you to do it, but it's not as hard as you think. Majority of these kits are plug and play. All you really need to know is how to take the radio out of the car and put the new one in. How do I get the 12-volt switch ignition? I'm not sure about that question, but there is a ground wire that you need to tap into, and then obviously that connects to the main harness. So if you wanted to run auxiliary power only, when you plug it into the the standard plug for the harness of the car, it would naturally still come on without the key. It was like, what model is this CarPlay? It's called a Seicane unit. If you look, I'll put the link for this in the description down below so you know exactly which head unit this is. I don't know the model number off the top of my head, but I do have the link for it. I will send it to you. And I believe this is a 9-inch display. What kind of head unit is that? I can't seem to find a good one. Again, it's called a Seicane. The company is called Seicane. S-E-I-C-A-N-E. So I will put this radio in the description link down below. Was this unit, okay, here's another question. There's another good question. Was this unit able to set the physical clock in the dash? And was the solution in the sound reverse camera, and what was the solution to this reverse camera issue? Now, I already talked about the reverse camera issue. I'm not going to say it again. Now, for the clock, if you guys don't know about MLs, there's a clock in the gauge cluster, but there's a gauge cluster in the gauge cluster where the miles per hour are. There is a little circle dial, and that dial is the clock. The only way you're able to adjust that is by the stock radio head unit. Some people say unplug the battery for an hour for daylight savings time, and then it will reset to 12 o'clock, and then you can do it that way. That's a lot. What I do have is I would recommend you guys get a tool scanner that can communicate with the modules of the car, which I have here. I will put this down in the description down below. You're able to turn the clock features. So not all Mercedes Benzes came with navigation. Some of them came with just a regular radio head unit. Very rare. Majority of them came with the navigation screen, but some of them didn't. And that the clock was still in the gauge cluster. So the way they did it was that they would put, you know, in the settings here. How I'm able to do that is that I was able to use this coder to enable the clock settings to move it from the radio to my gauge cluster. And then all I had to do was go into the settings here on the gauge cluster using the steering wheel controls, and then set my time that way, so that now I have the time, date, and clock in my gauge cluster in the settings menu. I enabled it in the settings menu there, and then I was able to get that, you know, situated. So like I said, with the sound, majority of these cars, if you do end up finding them, majority of the cars do, like majority of MLs, they were optioned with the Harman Kardon sound system. You have to get what is called a MOST audio box along with the radio head unit. When you buy this head unit, there will be a list of items you can add-ons. Look for the MOST adapter head unit. I talked about it in my previous video. Please look at the previous video for that. You need that in order for the radio amplifier to communicate to the, you need that box for the radio to communicate with the Harman Kardon or Bose, or whatever system you have. The the amplifier so that it can amplify sound to the speakers and all the speakers. And then this head unit also has an app with the amplifier to adjust all of the settings with all of the speakers, including the surround sound speakers. Hopefully I was able to answer that question. Can you tell me if the clock on an instrument cluster works and it is adjustable with the head unit? No, you have to enable, what you have to do is you have to get a scan tool. You can buy them on Amazon. I'll put a link into mine in the description below. Go into the settings and code the changes for the clock adjustments in the gauge cluster. So you just say that the car does not have navigation anymore, and then it will enable it in the dual screens on the gauge cluster, and then you can adjust that by the steering wheel controls. Question, brother, I'm having the same issue with not getting sound. It recognizes the car in reverse camera, but it doesn't come up. I've already answered those questions. And you never explained how to get the sound to work when you connected the connected most connector. I actually did. I talked about how you wire that up, and it should automatically work. If you didn't get that to work, the wires are literally the same color wires, so you match black with black, red with red, and yellow to yellow. I think that's what the colors were. And I use that with the steering wheel decoder box. Some people say use it and tap into your existing wiring harness. I didn't want to do that, just in case there was any issues. I don't want to have to rewire my stock harness, so I wired it to the box coder, and I showed that in the video. So please watch the previous video for that again, because I definitely did talk about it. But yeah, that's majority of the questions. But like I said, majority of these questions were the same in regards to how to change this, that, and the third in terms of the sound in the rear view camera. Hopefully I was able to answer those questions. But like I said, this video has been great. Like I said, I hope this video has been informative to you guys. I love this head unit. It works extremely well. I have no issues with it. I recommend this head unit to you guys if you guys have an ML product or even any other car. Seicane makes a bunch of aftermarket head units for multiple vehicles, and I would suggest that you go to their website and check that out. I will put their website in the link in the description down below. In the description, please don't say where did you get this radio from. I'm putting the links for the radio, just the regular website. You can look at all other head units depending on what car you have, as well as the scan tool, so that you can enable the clock on the gauge cluster yourself. And I think that you guys should own one of those anyway. A scan tool for your car anyway, just in case you could check engine lights or error codes or anything like that. All right, guys, I hope you did like this video. I hope it was very informative, and I hope I was able to answer a lot of your questions. Please, if you have questions down below, I'm trying to do better with answering your questions in the comments. So please, if you have questions, put them in the description. Put your questions in the comments down below, and I will make sure that I will answer them. But I hope that you did like this video. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to JR14. You guys always remember that once we put aftermarket radios in our daily drivers, you guys always remember that cars are a lifestyle.